Welcome to African Ancestral Wisdom, and this is your humble brother Jata 65. And today we are in the central region of Ghana, Assin Manso to be precise, where our ancestors had their last bath. In fact, it was really a tragedy for our ancestors. Please stay glued to your videos whilst we take you through what transpired on the site. Once again, this is your humble brother Jata 65. Thank you. Welcome to African Ancestral Wisdom, and we are on the main site of the place where our ancestors had their bath. We are just waiting for the information officer to arrive and give us what really transpired. We've read in books, we've seen it in movies, but today we are here to know and understand what really happened so that we can also pass it to our generations. Our ancestors really suffered because during that time it wasn't called gold, it wasn't called Ghana, it was called Gold Coast because there were so many golds here, minerals. God gave Africans everything. But it's just that we didn't know what we have. So today, the youth of this generation and generations to come are really going to learn. Stay glued to your set whilst we enter into the main site. Thank you very much. And I'm still your humble brother, Jata 65. Welcome to African Ancestral Wisdom, the hidden truth. Bye-bye.
While she landed in Jamaica, and the fighting spirit in her could not stop. She still fought and she even joined the Maroons to fight. But she wasn't lucky, she was captured and she was in prison in Kingston, Jamaica. While she was in prison, they thought it was going to be the end of her because there's no way she could fight. But as a mother, you can never stop a mother from fighting if the children are not in good shape. So Madam Krista never stopped fighting. Instead, she decided to rather rebel against the act by starving herself to death. But during that stage, whenever you try that, the punishment that will be meted on you is something that is so severe. The whippings and the stuff she endured there. But the punishment that broke the camel's back was when she had her teeth all chiseled out in an attempt to force her to feed, which is called the force feeding process. The pains alone and the infections that came afterwards. Madame Crystal could not make it, and we lost her in 1830. And in 1835, the people of Jamaica were free from slavery. Samuel Carson, one of our African brothers without any formal education, he landed the U.S. Navy, and he died at the age of 35 years. But we felt that it wasn't given a befitting burial. So on the 31st day of July 1998, the two mortal remains representing the Americans and the Caribbeans re-entered the country through the infamous door of no return on the closed countries. Immediately they came out from that door. All the doors of no return, the 44 forts and castles in Ghana, were changed to the door of return. Then after that day that it was changed, we realized something that was happening. People started unconsciously coming back home because the door and the curse has been broken. Now fast forward in 2019, during the year of return celebration. The year of return celebration was an initiative by the president in order to extend invitations for our brothers and sisters in the diaspora to come home. A lot of them listened and they came in their numbers. But in coming home, the Prime Minister of Barbados, Her Excellency Mia Amo, she said she cannot miss this opportunity for anything, and she cannot be the only one to. So she decided to come with some of her ancestors. But how would you come with somebody instead? But she had a plan. Barbados, the Prime Minister. So she excavated most slave cemeteries. Every bones that she could gather, she put them in a beautiful casket. All the way from Barbados on the 11th of November 2019. And that's the third tomb that you are seeing now. So it is collections of bones.
This very one.
Yeah, this very one. Then immediately after the burial, groups also started petitioning us that they also wanted to be buried here. Our brothers from the African descent, they also said they wanted to be buried here. We can't say no to them because the land equally belongs to them. So inside the graveyard was given out, and today we have 446 ashes on this land. The trade was abolished in 1808, but not slavery. Slavery, I don't know the date. I only know what the book says. Because in the US of A, 1865, British colony 1835, French colony 1846. But for me, I don't believe slavery has been abolished. It has rather evolved into a whole lot of different forms. And until when all of us are certain that indeed it has, that is when I will give the date out. But as it stands now, the only date we know is what the books says. Now, I'm going to take you to the river in order for us to see the rivers that our forebears were made to take their last back. My brothers from the African descent, when they come over here, it becomes more of a ritual journey. They do go through almost like 10 rituals before they leave these grounds of their ancestors. Maybe at a point in time, I will tell you some of the things that we do whilst we walk 3 hours to the river. So, I treat the land of my ancestors. So, when my dear African descent comes over, they prefer to walk on this whole stretch of land with their shoes off. Because they believe that there is so much on this land that they need to have. So it becomes a prayerful journey for them. Yes, a journey to connect, a journey to say thank you, a journey to heal, and it becomes so much of a journey. And when they are going through this path, they walk in a straight line, and they don't even want anyone to even make the slightest of noise, because they say just a little word that you say will distract their connectivity. So it becomes so silent, just like you are walking in a cemetery, and they walk all the way to the river. And when they get to the river, their rituals also continues. So when we get to the river, I'll tell you what and what they do at the river. And whenever you have a question, feel free
So do we need to take off
It's a walking, walking meditation.
We're not taking off. Okay. But we have to go through. It's a whole ritual process because you have to come, you have to pour libation, you have to do everything before you go. So I would have to even change my clothes and everything before we go through this spiritual work. But now it's cool to just go in there because we are here more for the history and not the ritual aspect of it. So
Maybe I'll do return for the ritual.
the ritual is very
Okay, maybe I'll arrange with you then.
We'll talk about it.
How much damages I'm going to pay?
No, you're not going to pay any damages.
We'll
With
do those
the rituals, nobody. I don't take any money for it. Why would I take money for it? No, why would you take money for rituals? No, I don't take money for it.
All right.
You just give me prior notice, then I just prepare. We'll go through it. So everybody that you ask, even Cape will tell you, Kofi, just this. When they are going to the river, when they are going to the river, the fastest pace that they could go. No. The African descent when they come for the rituals. Okay. The fastest pace that they would want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't want it too fast. They want to absorb everything again.
And we are the last bath without our humble brother Kofi Amini, and he's going to give us the history behind this river. Thank you so much. You can come with me.
Okay. So basically, we welcome to. There's nothing welcoming here. We are at the Slave River. The Slave River, because this was where our forebears were made to take their last bath. Now, when you look at the river, we have two separate rivers, and it is not just a river. Wow. Now, let's get with it. When you observe carefully in the river, you could see that this river and that river converges right there before it moves to this direction. This river is getting its source from the township, and this river is getting its source from a river called the Kwa River.
Kwa River.
Yes. Now this river name is Ama Elisa. Ama because she is the first lady, and Ama, she is a mother. This river is also getting its source from the township, and the name of this river is the Slave River. This very one is Slave River, and this is Ama Elisa. The reason why they use the Slave River to wash them is that even when it rains and it gets flooded, Don Concio is always still and stagnant. It doesn't move. But with the Ama Emisa, the currents from Ama Emisa could even take you away.
Wow.
So because of that, they use the Don Concio in order to wash the captives. Now, because there were so many captives in here, they were taken to the river in the badges of 10 in order for them to go through their cleansing, still in chains and in shackles. So when they take them down to the raiders will be on top of this mountain, pointing their guns at them. So anybody that tries to escape, you do so at your own peril. But it didn't deter them from escaping. Some did, and most were killed. So those that were killed at the riverside were those that were buried over there. So all these places, before the place, the bamboo cemetery, it has a mass burial of our forebears. In 2007, the University of Ghana Accredited Department, they came to excavate this part of the land in search of material evidences. Yes, they had all those evidences, but the chiefs said no one should ever come and excavate this place again, because for once they should allow our ancestors to have a peaceful rest. So from that day, nobody have ever come over to excavate this land. Yeah, 2017. Say sorry for the role that they play. But in here is basically a place that most of the Caucasians will never want to come. This place is not as easy as the people's that you could even go and find a place to stand. This place is something about river, and rivers is about spirituality, and it's very natural, and it has so much power in it. So if you are not connecting to it, it becomes an issue for you. So 98 African descent, and we have sometimes 2% sometimes mixed out of Muslims that normally comes here. But for them, we don't take you through the ritual because it is, you don't share that same ancestry with us. We have so much.
I mean, I have to be sorry for the world.
Yeah.
I mean,
What are we preaching? We are preaching the world to be a better place. The world that I could hold your hands and say, hey, you're my sister.
what we have done to each other is just appalling.
It's just appalling. And funny thing is this: the composition of your body is the blood. There's no white blood. There's no black blood. But everything is red. So why are we just looking at the face value to divide ourselves? We have to
Because
look deep.
people's eyes are not open.
That is why I said they don't look deep. When they look deep,
No,
you do?
no, they don't.
Yes, they don't.
Some do. He does.
Yeah.
I try.
We try. Yeah, we try, but most don't. So you look deep and you saw that the blood is just one.
Oh,
But I've never seen it. So they look at the face value and they look at you and they look at me and they will say the colors are different. And that is what they do, and they always get it wrong. They always get it wrong. Let's get into prayer.
yeah, heavy, very heavy. Yeah, yeah.
Some come over and sit on the rock. It becomes like a yoga session for them. And sometimes 2 hours, 4 hours, we just want to meditate. And then when they don't want to cover, you just have to just sit and just observe them going through their journey. And there's some, when the river is flooded, it becomes good for them because at least some people will want to float on it. In here, some fruits in the river, while the river flowed. Yeah, we were facing them. And it becomes very, very important sometimes. You can never stand here without sharing it whenever we are going through that. And you can see that they are desperate to be healed. When you touch the river, you can touch it.
So here is just mean cleansing.
Yes, this is the first part of the thing. For the new
Kofi Amene is a tour guide and historian here on the ancestral riverside, and he's going to summarize everything, and he'll put his contact as well. So please go ahead.
Okay, so you're welcome to Assin Manso. Assin Manso was seen as one of the busiest slave markets that existed during the trade. Assin Manso had over 5.7 million of African diasporans passing through this particular place in order for them to get to the Cape Coast dungeons. In here was where the captives were made to take their last bath before going through their first auction and their first branding. In here also have a slave cemetery where most of our ancestors were buried. So after going through their auction and branding from this end, then they walk all the way to the Cape Coast dungeons just for them to await the slave ship. So Assin Manso was basically a slave market that existed during the trade.